finally received the first of the Yarbo packages. So this is the core module plus the snowblower, plus we have the charging station and the accessories pack. The only thing that's not here yet is the battery and then the lawnmower, which we don't need yet because it is December here in Pennsylvania, so don't really need to mow the lawn right now. I'm going to go ahead and unbox the core unit. All right, let's get it opened up. Wow, this is pretty nice. A nice hard foam packaging. Let's see what we got. Oh, it pops right off. Much easier than I anticipated. I want to be careful with this. This is the data center here. So they put that right here on the end of the box. It is labeled right at the top. So before you even pull it out, you know you got to be careful with this one. I'm going to set this aside. Be careful. Let's grab him. Oh, goodness. He's got some weight. Definitely doable, but a little bit heavier than I anticipated. Feels like a real beast. Definitely excited about this. And this bay right here where the battery goes is where the remote is. Or I guess that's to charge the remote. And I'm guessing this is to attach your cell phone to it. And we have a really large battery compartment here. So glad to see the size the battery is going to be is really nice size, so that should be good. So here's the remote that was in the battery compartment with the charging cable. It's USB-A to C, and then the little attachment that I think attaches your cell phone to the remote. So I'm guessing it goes up here, and then you attach your cell phone right above it so you can see the visuals, just in case it like goes around the corner of the house or something while you're remote controlling it. You don't lose that visual. Here's a close-up of the data center, and it has the halo antenna here, the RTK, as well as the Bluetooth. So the three different antennas, has the location for a ground wire, and then we have Ethernet down here. So power over Ethernet, the WAN and LAN are at the bottom here. And then this is a light bar. They did just do an update where you can, I think, dim it or even turn it off now because people were complaining it was too bright. They were putting black electrical tape over to try to block it. Their neighbors didn't like it, apparently. But really solid unit here. This I'm gonna have to still figure out exactly where I'm putting it. I have some ideas, but haven't determined it yet. All I do know though is it's gonna be a whole new world. I mean, if I could sing, barring any issues with copyright, that type of thing, the Aladdin song, I'd be singing it. But even when we go to mass, I think sometimes Jesus is like, it's okay. You really don't have to. You're not that great at the singing part. Let those other people do it. But, it is what it is. And here's the up close of the core unit. I'm just going to pull this panel off that I took off earlier where the battery goes. And you can see this is a really deep compartment. You can see how far my hand is in there. My full hand is easily in there. I was touching the bottom and not even close to the top here. And the cabling on this thing is pretty solid here. And then we can walk around. You can see the antenna location and the treads. This is a pretty impressive machine here. Cameras and headlights. The caution light up top to make sure everybody's aware of it. Pretty good unit here. Definitely really solid. All right, now that I got this opened up, I'm going to show you what's inside. So let's flip it open. And much different than the core. This one we have a user manual, which is a very thick book, and a quick start guide. Both of these for the snowblower, it says. We have the item to clear the chute with. We have hardware here, which means assembly required. That'll be fun. And yep, this is a chute, looks like. And maybe the base to the chute, I'll have to look at what this is, follow the instructions, but yeah, this is solid. Much better than our other one that we have. Sorry, I had to stop, and I went over and I verified our Troy build is plastic. This is not. This is metal. So better quality, it feels immediately, than the Troy build that we have that is actually a really good snowblower, but I got to push it. I got to go out in the snow. Why would I want to do that when I could do this? So let's continue on. Let me move this stuff out of the way and pull this off. And now we have the unit. So you have the front of the unit here, and this is the side that connects to the core. But this thing is solid. Got the nice metal guard on the front. Everything's metal. This is a little bit of plastic up here around where the cameras are, but I mean the cameras are going to be the sensitive area there. This is really solidly built. Really happy so far with what I'm seeing. Let's see what else is in the box here. So there's one more item in the box itself, and that's a set of the winter tracks with the studs on them. That looks like it might destroy the driveway. Not sure about using the studs. I'll have to try it out and look at it and think about this because that's a concern. And then we have this little box I just opened up, and this is the other track with studs on it. So you got one for each side. Got a better view here, and you can see these are metal studs that stick out and will be hitting the driveway or whatever you're driving it on. Since ours is only going to be on hard surfaces, I'm not sure if I want to put these on. I'll have to think about it and figure that out. I'm going to open up the Yarbo charging pad here. All right, let's open this up. These grass pegs are huge for securing it, which is good. And the expansion for the docking station. So these would be the expansion bolts for installations like ours, because I think we're going to end up putting it on the concrete. So I'll have to think about that a little bit more. But these are the expansion bolts that are included with the Yarbo or the grass. So you have both your options included, which is awesome. We have the power cord, and this is a proprietary, it looks like, because I'm not familiar with this one. I'm not sure if anybody else knows what that plug is. Obviously, it's a normal outlet. The normal 3-prong on the other side for normal outlet in the US for us. But this BD20, never seen that before. So this will be interesting. I guess it's proprietary. So we'll go with that. Let's see what else we have here. I think this is like a conduit to run the cord under. So it's just a metal like conduit. And then underneath here, we have the charging pad. So let me clear this out of the way. Here's the charging pad. It's got some weight to it. Definitely a good thing. It's got the a cover on the plug location. That's pretty nice. Like bring it over. So you can see this side's just nice and smooth. That's where it drives up on. The sides are just a little ramp. So really thin at that side, thick at this side. And here's the location where the plug will go. And then this is heavy right here. That's where all the weight is. You can definitely feel it. That's where all the conversion happens. And it looks like right here in the middle is where it's actually charging the battery. So most of it's probably cosmetic with the ramp and everything. But this left side is heavy and definitely where the electronics are based on the wiring too. And then it comes down and then looks like right here in the center potentially is where it's charging. I don't know if there's really any, I guess it's that top section there where the charge lightning bolt is. All right, so pretty neat. I'll have to get this thing installed. All right, I'm going to open up the Yarbo Smart Assist module, also shown as the accessories box on some of the shipping information. So the first item inside is actually like a piece of paper or cardboard, maybe a really thin cardboard, and it's got a certificate on it. Yarbo 2024. Proud owner. So yeah, that's pretty neat. I like the touch. We have the user manual for the Yarbo core. So we didn't have that in the core box. It's in the accessory box. And this is packing. And we have lots of items in here. So here is the unit that would go on the robot, and so it has the cameras and everything. We have the hitch that from when I bought it was included in the purchase. So that thing is solid. I don't think we're gonna have any problems towing whatever we're gonna want to tow with this thing. We have the antennas. Okay, so I don't think that there's maybe a difference between the right and left. I'll have to read the instructions, I suppose. Don't like doing that, but I guess I have to sometimes. Here is the mount for the data center. And then we have, I think, these two posts over here are for the data center. So you can go out and up or whatever you need to do here. So we have the T shape so that we can, configure as we need to. And it has the cover on it that we can place on whichever of the three we're not using. So it's versatile. We have another charger. Maybe this is for The core unit itself, if you don't put it on the wireless charging, not really sure about this one. I guess I'm gonna have to read the stupid instructions. Wow, there's actual like tools in here and grass pegs for the mount if you were gonna mount it in the grass, which I suppose I could do temporarily. I don't know, I'll have to think about that. Because this winter, depending on how I decide to mount it, I may or may not want to get up there yet. And we have antennas. Everything is really well marked. So let me bring this over to you. So we have these grass mounts for the grass pegs, or the pegs for the grass mounts, rather. And these are right here and clearly labeled. We have the antennas that everything's clearly labeled on, and the bag's labeled as antenna, so very easy. And then in here, we have like actual tools that are supplied with it. And these, obviously it's labeled as tools, but the individual tools are labeled as well inside. I don't think all of them are, but several of them are. So it looks like maybe the Allen wrenches. Those are labeled with the sizes. So don't think I've ever seen this level of tools included with anything. Really nice. And then we have just a couple more items in here. So this is an adapter, power over Ethernet injector here. And then this is a plug for this. So we aren't going to need this because I do have power over Ethernet to the line that'll be going out there. So no need for this one for me. And more hardware, bolts for the low RTK, anti-theft screws. We have the data center cable clips, bolts for the high RTK, connection bolts for pole, wood nails for the mount, clip of halo antenna for data center, expansion bolts for the mount. So if you're mounting it into concrete, the spare screws. There's a whole thing of spare screws, pretty nice, and the tow hitch screws. So those are some like wing nuts there. So that should be pretty easy. What is this piece? Oh, fancy smancy pieces that show the Yarbo logo here. They're metal. Thought they'd be decorative at first, but sort of surprised that they're separate and not on the item, but that's all fine and good. We'll put them on. Oh, and the last two things that I didn't mention, I guess, are the Ethernet cables. So we have a shorter one here that I'm going to guess is designed to go either to or from the power over Ethernet injector. And then we have this guy. This guy is, I want to say it's like 100 feet. I don't know. It's too much. I'm not sure where I'm going to put this much of anything. So I might not use this at all because I'm going to be looking for something shorter instead of this. But that's what we got in the accessories.